all set to play ball here. The Rays sending Matt Garza to the hill, looking for his 5th win. The Rays are looking for their 5th win on this homestand. So far 4-3. In steps Cabrera, and Garza's first pitch of this game is a little bit outside. Starts him with a fastball away. 1 ball, no strikes. Randy Marsh, the crew chief, calls the balls and strikes in this game, the wrap up of the series. The pitch that runs outside, a fastball. 2-0. Cabrera at 244 with a couple of home runs. Garza falls behind him, 3-0. Cabrera hit a 3rd inning home run in the game here Monday. The Rays won that game 13-4. There's a strike, and it's 3-1. Garza has never beaten this team. He's 0-2 lifetime against him, but he's pitched pretty well against Oakland. Ground ball shortstop, grabbed by Bartlett. His throw to first is in time, and a nice little play by Jason Bartlett at shortstop for the first out.
And that's what happens when you throw strikes. You get some defensive help behind you. That's a nice pick by Bartlett. Not an easy hop. Straightens up and throws a strike over there to Carlos Pena for the out. Easily to Orlando Cabrera.
That was a great play by Bartlett, made even more spectacular by the fact that we are in high definition today, HD. Now here's Suzuki, the catcher, Kurt Suzuki. There's a strike to Suzuki to start him. Garza pitched against this Oakland team out in Oakland at the end of April. 2 strikes, the foul ball back. Garza pitched 5 2/3, gave up 4 hits and 4 runs in that outing. In fact, that was against Brayton. The Rays were beaten by the A's 5-2. Headed out of play. Still a 2-strike count.
First breaking ball we've seen from Matt. The other day too, last Saturday, he pitched against the Cleveland Indians. He worked extremely hard. He pitched well, but he did have a high pitch count. There's the loss of the A's last road trip, April 25th. The road trip before last, I should say, 107 pitches. But last Saturday had 120 pitches for 6 innings.
And Suzuki is out on strikes. First strikeout for Garza. Put him away.
Couple sliders there. This one much better than the one before. Look at that thing breaking off the outside corner. First Suzuki was fooled.
2 up, 2 down. There's Jack Cust. That slider, one of the favorite pitches for Garza against right-handed hitters. He faces the lefty swinging Cust. Pitches away. Hockey in short right field. The Rays with the shift on. Longoria by himself on the left side of the infield. Cut and the miss. And Aki's been busy out there in shallow right with Cust and Giambi in this lineup, and the way the Rays play that shift.
Boy, he has. He's made all kinds of plays going to his right, going to his left. Had a ball coming in. He had to get Kennedy on a ground ball coming in and make that play.
The 1-1. It's a strike. Breaking ball drops in. The curveball
I like the way Matt's kind of cultivating his stuff. That's the first curveball we've seen 3 hitters into the game. Try to establish the fastball early. Once he got ahead of Suzuki, threw a couple of sliders. He drops a nice 1-1 curveball on Jack Cust.
He's out on strikes. Well, that pitch had some bite to it. That slider biting down and in. Cust is out of there. We're at the end of an inning. No score with the Rays coming in to hit. Against the lefty Dallas Braden, B.J. Upton, Carl Crawford, and Evan Longoria. Carlos Pena with Jason Bartlett to follow, and Willie Ibar again the DH. Akinori Iwamura at second. Gabe Kapler hits eighth, and Deanna Navarro ninth. Upton stepping in against Braden. A wave and a miss by B.J. Strike one.
Dallas Braden, a 25-year-old left-hander, 24th round draft pick out of Texas Tech, 3.64 earned run average. That's good. Tries to pound the zone also. 3 lefties in a row for the Oakland A's.
And a little base hit dropped into left. A soft liner on an 0-2 pitch. Change up, and Upton is aboard.
Oakland A's defensively. Take a look at the outfield from left to right. You got Matt Holliday in left. Ryan Sweeney made a great catch in the game off of Upton last night at center. Jack Cust in right tonight. Jack Hanahan at third. Orlando Cabrera at short. Adam Kennedy at second. Bobby Crosby plays first. Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. Today's defensive alignment brought to you by Sweet Bay.
Carl Crawford fouls the first pitch. They got a first pitch fastball. Braden is right. We'll see a very good changeup out of him. Crawford wasn't wasting any time going after the fastball.
I think the Rays would like to get off to a jump, get Mike Garza a couple runs, and never look back, because they've had to battle back 3 or 4 times in this homestand.
Roller to third, down to second. They get the force. Hanahan to Kennedy for the out on Upton as Crawford reaches. So Upton is retired. 1 out with Crawford at first, and Evan Longoria will bat. Evan Longoria hitting .331, 11 homers and 46 runs batted in. The move to first, and his move is a little different look, as we can see there. And And he can be challenging to run against.
Well, he's got deception all the way around, even with his stuff going to home plate.
First pitch, and Longoria looks at it for a strike.
Thing the A's do, all their lefties, they're very quick to the plate to try to eliminate or minimize the Rays' running game.
And again to first, and this one bouncing away from Crosby with the diving Crawford back in.
That's the old Terry Mulholland move. Remember Terry?
Yes.
Step off and fire over to first base. That quick move that a lot of pitching coaches don't like because you got a chance to hurt yourself. Look how difficult that is. Just puts on your arm.
0-2. Well, he had 7 pickoffs last year with that move.
Terry Mulholland perfected it. Pitched for many clubs. He was great at that. A lot of pitching coaches don't like you to do that, but if he's used to doing it, that's all fine and good. But it's not something most guys would teach.
And strike 3 called to Longoria. He slipped the fastball by him. It's the second out.
And Suzuki sets up in. This ball just right there. I mean, that's exactly where Suzuki wanted it. And Evan took it for a third.
And here's Carlos Pena. Carlos with a home run and a double in last night's game, facing the lefty Braden. Pitch away, 1 ball, no strikes. The A's do not have the shift per se on it, but they have Kennedy, the second baseman, in short right field, while Cabrera, the shortstop, is still on the third base side of second. Two balls, no strikes. Pena hit a slider out in the 4th inning of last night's game. His 14th home run of the year, leading the American League in home runs. Two balls and a strike.
Carlos was looking for that one too. Breaking ball right there. Off speed. Pretty good swing at it. Just missed it.
Oakland out 1-2-3 in the first. The Rays have Crawford at first. 2 outs in their first. The pitch is down. Crawford had started and then stopped off first base on the 2-1 pitch. And there is ball 4. So that pushes Crawford. You can see the Oakland A's are taking the field. The lights are close to being completely powered once again. There was a lightning strike at the 16th Street substation just around the corner here. That came at 4:22. The Rays had put 2 men on with 2 men out. Carl Crawford at second, and Carlos Pena had just drawn a walk. And when we resume, Jason Bartlett will be at the plate. Right now, let's check in with Todd.
Yeah, Dwayne, you mentioned it. It was a couple of feeders down, not a direct hit here at Tropicana Field, but Progress Energy reporting that the lightning strike was a couple of feeders down and then transferred over to Tropicana Field. Matt Garza, starting pitcher for the Rays, you saw him on the bench for part of the time. The other part of the time, there's a little exercise bike right inside the corner of the dugout, so he was riding that for a while just to keep the heart rate going, keep the sweat going. So he was trying to stay loose, but looks like it'll be about a 20-minute delay. We've had these before, so the Rays have been a little bit used to it for the guys that have been around a couple of years. Guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thanks for that information. Well, let's see if the Rays can cash in on this early opportunity against Dallas Braden, who will have his first inning interrupted here. And it's never easy on a pitcher to go through something like this.
No, he was in a pretty good rhythm, although Carlos Pena did work the count. Had a really good at bat to draw the walk right as the power outage happened. I mean, immediately after he got the ball 4 call, the power went out. So here's Jason Bartlett.
Well, Jason, with 2 men on and 2 men out, Bartlett's hitting .379. That's good for third in the league, and he leads the league hitting with men in scoring position at a robust .459. And he goes after the first pitch fastball, fouling it away. Strike 1. 4:41 resumption, so that's a 19-minute delay. First foul, and that's going to be caught by Crosby to retire the side. Rays leave 2, no score through 1. Of the second, scoreless, the Rays and the A's. Don't miss a minute of the action this year. With Rays season tickets, you can save up to 35%. Great benefits in that season ticket package, including the best seats at the Trop. You can use them for business, entertainment, or family fun. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. At Holiday, the left fielder, the cleanup hitter, leads off the second against Matt Garza. fastball by him. Strike one. Giambi next, and then Kennedy. Tap third base, charged by Longoria, and he has no play. By the time he got there to make the pickup, no play on Holiday, who has an infield hit.
And Evan did the right thing. He had no chance. Holiday got out of the box. Good ball couldn't be placed better if he bunted it. That way, it looked like a slider from a good pitch by Garza.
Well, all that proves is that Longoria just can't make every play. I mean, he's just about made every one.
He sure has. Of course, he's playing deep with Holiday anyway. He did the right thing. You got to put it in your pocket and not try to make a super play. Might have thrown it away.
The first pitch missing to Giambi. Jason Giambi hitting 198 with 3 home runs.
The Rays are playing pretty much straight up on Giambi now with Garza.
Pitch is low. 2-0, and you know they're gonna shift now with the count going to 2-0.
Yeah. it's the rotation.
Yep.
Depending on the count. That's right. Early. Of course, late when he gets 2 strikes, Giambi's shown he'll go the other way also.
Bounds it back. Yeah, if the count evens up again,
they may go back.
They go to 2-2. I mean, what's going to happen? They'll go back to the normal deployment. Swing and a miss, and the count is 2-2. And I really think they're going to find out. I mean, Giambi's still going to pull some pitches, but as we discussed the other night when he first came up, he had the ball to left center a lot. And I think we're probably going to see more of that at this stage in his career.
Yeah, because that 90 fastball right there was right by him. A little bit long with the swing there.
Pitch in, and the count is full.
Especially on power fastballs from a guy like Matt Garza.
Infield hit by Holiday, and a 3-2 pitch to Giambi on its way. Bounce it back the other way, out of play.
You got a ball that he hit right through the hole where Longoria is right now. At shortstop, he got a base hit over there because 2 men were on in the first inning yesterday, and Longoria had to cover third base.
And you know, that came on a 2-0 pitch.
It sure did. Yeah, that's right. He hit it right through that hole there at shortstop. And Longoria is standing right now.
3-2 again, upstairs. So the first 2 men are on here as Garza opens the second inning on an infield hit and the walk.
It's almost like Matt didn't want to throw that as he was releasing it. He knew he'd left it up high, and he got mad at himself because he was blowing the ball by Giambi. I mean, he wasn't catching up to 89, 90 even.
So Adam Kennedy will be the hitter. Garza, as we've come to know, pretty intense fella out there on the mound. The Rays have really attempted to get him to concentrate on his game as opposed to opposing hitters so much. And he can do that because he has such great stuff. Kennedy lifts a fly ball. Center field, Upton is there for it, not very deep, and he makes the catch.
Well, that's a nice big out, especially on the first pitch on Adam Kennedy. And it was developing into an inning. It still could be, but that's a big out right there. Get the easy pop out, no runner advancement right there. Yeah, I'm reading up on that as well on Matt Garza. They just want him to worry about himself, keep himself in check, and he'll get anybody out, not worry about overanalyzing the opposition all the time. I think that's what he did on the Giambi curveball, 3-2. He got, maybe I'll trick him here, get him looking. And he left it up.
And Sweeney takes a pitch down, breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Sweeney's hitting .248. A couple of home runs on the year. He checks this one all the way in for ball 2. 2-0.
Pretty good pitch though down there. Didn't get the call from Randy Marsh. That's a pretty good location.
Fly ball toward the left field line. Hang time, and Crawford is there to make the catch. 2 outs. One thing about Randy Marsh, he's been around for a long time, well-respected umpire, but he's a guy, another guy who's going to make you find the strike zone. He's not going to widen it much on you.
No, that's true. And that ball wasn't, if it was low, it wasn't by a whole lot. And Randy is well respected. I like Randy.
Yep.
Always been very fair. That was a little tight though on that 1-0 pitch.
Bobby Crosby. Crosby playing first base, hitting out of the 8th spot. Pitch is upstairs to him. 1 ball, no strikes. Take the count to 2-0 on Crosby. Crosby's had some back problems over the last couple of years, and that's really slowed his progress. There's a strike. 2-1.
Pitch right there. That's a pitch you got to get right there. You know, the pitch before that, Randy Marsh had a little flinch there. You know,
yep.
He's trying to zero in on his strike zone too today.
Three balls and a strike. An infield hit and a walk. Now 2 outs and a 3-1 count to Crosby. And that's low for ball 4. So the bases are loaded. A couple of walks in the inning. They'll be loaded for Jack Hanahan. Hanahan hitting .129 with a home run. There's 4 runs batted in. The pitch is down. Yeah, that's a breaking ball. And I remember, you know, Nolan Ryan, and of course you especially would, and with your time with him, but it was always a challenge for Nolan with Randy Marsh because of the breaking ball. And Nolan
That's
would,
right. Yep.
He would always say he was going to be fine if he could get his breaking ball over. And Randy Marsh didn't think he got it over a lot.
That's right. Well, that was the 3rd curveball that Matt Garza has thrown. And it had a lot of bite to it. Pretty good pitch. It's a little bit down.
There's the 1-1. That's down.
And Matt's just got to slow himself down a little bit here. Not try to rush the end of this inning. The stuff is really good. I mean, the ball gets on you. Velocity says 92 on that last pitch, but the ball gets on you. It's got some giddy up on it. Swing and a miss. That gun looks a little slow to me. I mean, that's a good, crisp fastball right there. It says 89, but I'm telling you, it gets up there.
Yeah, he threw that one right by Hanahan. And 2-2. He got him. He struck him out. He just threw the fastball by him a couple times. Took care of Hanahan, and the A's leave the bases loaded. Florida is brought to you by Canon, the all-new Rebel T1i, now shooting in full HD video, inspired by Canon. AT TBA, your world delivered. Here's Willie Ibar leading off, and he takes the first pitch. It's going to be a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. Ibar, Iwamura, and then Kapler. There's a shot, well hit back into left. Holiday back, he'll leap. It's over his head and off the wall. Ibar's headed down to second with a stand-up double. Willie Ibar continues to swing a very good bat. He's had a chance to get in here and get some regular at-bats, and boy, he's swinging the bat well.
He's doing it from both sides of the plate, too. Good extension through the ball right there. As the sound is just that deep bass sound that Joe Madden likes, that he talks about. Sound of wood squaring up on the sweet spot of the bat. Ball on the bat right there in the sweet spot. That's beautiful. Took off on Matt Holliday.
Takanori Iwamura. Pitch is a strike. Hockey hitting .303 for the year. You know, he's hitting .467 against left-handed pitching. That's second best in the American League.
Part of it, he could take that breaking ball and he goes to left field with it.
Stairs, it's 1-1.
Now, they do try to pound him in. We saw yesterday they tried to come in and he turned on one, hit a triple to right field. Boy, he really hits well the other way. That's one of the reasons he stays in there well on lefties. Takes that breaking ball in the left field for the base hit.
Foul back. Makes the count to 1-2. Rays left a couple men on in the first. Oakland left 3 on in the top of this inning. Short center. Sweeney coming in for it, makes the catch. 1 away. Rays facing the young left-hander Dallas Brayton. The A's really like his makeup. He's a tough kid. 2 starts ago, Vernon Wells hit a line drive right back at him that almost took him into center field. Take a look at that later on in this game. Kapler in the batter's box. The pitch is a strike. Take a look at this. Right back at him, and he got his pitching hand up there. I think otherwise it would have hit him perhaps in the throat. And it hit the pitching hand and deflected out to second. Deflected to his left shoulder off the pitching hand.
That was a bullet off the bat of Vernon Wells.
Turn, but nothing doing back there. That was in the first inning of that game. And that hand immediately started to swell. He still has trouble separating his index finger and middle finger. There's still some soreness in there.
I was going to say, it looks like the knuckle is still swollen.
That's a strike. It's 0-2. But he stayed in and pitched 6 innings in that game.
Tells you a lot right there. Talk about toughness. Yeah, look at that knuckle right there. It still looks big.
They tell the story that the Oakland trainer came out there and took a look at it.
Right here.
He said, he said, don't tell Bob Guerin that it's starting to swell already. There's a fly ball up the right field line. That's going to be fair and roll down beyond the bullpen. Ibar's going to score. Kapler's in at second with a double, and the Rays lead 1-0. Kapler's 7th double of the year, driving in his 3rd run.
Now look, they're trying to go up and in, or in I should say, and the ball stays up and away, and Gabe's able to just drop the head of the bat on it and drop it into right field just inside the line to right. That's just mislocation right there, and Gabe reacted to it.
So now Kapler's in scoring position for Deoner Navarro.
Well, you know, Gabe hit a couple of balls really well yesterday, and they got ran down. And didn't hit that ball that well, but even out, as they say. Hitters won't tell you they do.
Yeah.
But he'll take it.
And Navarro hits one on the ground to second. Kennedy will make the flip to first. Over to third goes Kapler. So he's there with 2 outs. Rays have taken the lead on Kapler's RBI double. B.J. Upton. Upton lined a changeup into left. His first time up. He looks at a strike. It's Kapler at third. Down in. Picked up by Suzuki. A ball and a strike.
He's been doing a lot of dancing around back there in this 4-game series. Blocked a lot of balls, taking a lot of hits off the mask. There's only one ball that he couldn't get to, and that was the wild pitch. The bases loaded with Bartlett up last night.
Foul out of play. 1-2. From what we've seen of Suzuki, if he can't catch it, it is a wild pitch.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, no, he's very, very good at shifting both left and right. And last night he just got locked up on a ball to his right. Couldn't get to it. You can see it through a wild pitch. Made it a 1-run game in the 8th inning.
DJ fouls another one out of play. Count still 1-2.
Team's still trying to go inside and tie BJ up, and there's times that left shoulder I think is still bothering him a little bit where he can't get through the ball, and other times like the other night with a couple of home runs he does.
This one is fouled, and look out, Tom Foley. Tom can still move. Well, we saw those infielder hands the other night on a play.
Hands and quick feet.
Still got those quick feet down there in the coaching box.
Got those middle infielder feet right there. And that pitch down, BJ can get to that one. It's the one kind of middle in that he's still working through, trying to get through that ball to square it up. And that one last night to left center would have tied the game, would have been a triple had not Sweeney ran it down.
A little chopper left side. He's got a chance. That's a base hit, and the run scores. Kapler crosses the plate. An infield hit and a run batted in. BJ actually took a little look over his shoulder going down the line as that play developed.
Yeah, see the ball down. I mean, he just goes down and puts it in play. Protection swing. Yeah, he's checking to see. He took a long look. He said, okay, it took that one extra hop, and that was enough for BJ to beat it out. Couldn't quite get it on the long hop, Hanrahan. Once it took that extra hop, gave BJ the time to get through the bag.
So the Rays make it a 2-run inning, and here's Carl Crawford. There goes BJ, and the toss to first. Throw down. They're going to get him. He is caught. We mentioned Braden picked off 7 runners last year, and that's a good move. He's got a caught stealing here. Charge to Upton. Rays lead 2-0.
With the Rays leading 2-0, Garza, part of the Metro PCS, and the Rays teaming up to take Matt to school. And there is the winning student, Megan Tier, the 6th grader, 13 years old. Lealman Intermediate in St. Petersburg, the school where Matt Garza was visiting just yesterday. He was there beginning at 10 a.m. The 22 students all had the Garza shirts on. And guys, that's the 4th straight year the Rays and Metro PCS have done a take a Rays player to school. And yesterday, Garza was unbelievable with the kids, taking time out to talk with them, answer questions well beyond what was expected. So tip of the cap to Garza for his work yesterday. Back to you.
Well, Todd, you know, I mean, he probably has the highest IQ in the building right now. So that was a treat for those kids to have him at school. He's a very bright guy and pretty intense as well, as we've come to know. So he was the perfect guy to do that.
Yeah, he was. I love his intensity. I just like his demeanor. I know that people say he's got to calm down, but you just got to channel it the right way. And that's for getting a hitter out and driving it right through Navarro, not getting at it yourself. A perfectionist.
0-2 the count to Cabrera. Pitch inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
How about that movement and that pitch? Wow.
Two balls, 2 strikes. You know, in regard to Garza, and you know, he is a bit of a perfectionist. You know, I mean, in a way, it doesn't make any sense, but being a perfectionist is great as long as it's not an obsession.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of a contradiction in terms, but I mean, here's you know, you were around Sandy Koufax.
You bet.
There was a guy who had some of that in him. Ground ball down to third. Longoria makes the play over to Pena. I mean, his idea when he made a start I always heard, and you can confirm this. He's a guy who said, look, the first idea is to throw a perfect game. You lose a perfect game, throw a no-hitter. You lose a no-hitter, throw a shutout.
I'll tell you a story about that. That's exactly right. And, you know, you and I were talking. Sandy Koufax's biggest discrepancy was he didn't want to see earned runs versus runs. He said, I don't like it. It's runs against you. If he sees a pitcher with earned runs versus runs, a big discrepancy, he would say that guy's not a tough competitor, because when a guy makes an error, that's when I've got to pick my teammate up, and that's when I got to get the next guy out and not let a one-run inning become a four-run inning. Then my earned run average still stays down. That meant nothing to me. That's the kind of stuff Sandy would talk about.
Absolutely. And
I worked with him for 10 years. I was really fortunate.
Strike the count to Kurt Suzuki. Wave and a miss.
Look at that fastball. I mean, that's 94.
And he's got great action on that.
Suzuki's looking for it, but he can't even get the bat on it right there. That's just pain in the outside corner.
One out, base is empty. 2 strikes the count. And he blows that one right by him. Boy, Suzuki out on strikes twice. He got him with a slider in the first, and that one, that was just smoke right by him.
Watch this ball now. This is like two-seam action, about 92. Watch this ball. Watch the movement. There it is right there. And watch this thing run right in on Suzuki. Look at that. And the bottom falls out. I mean, after the last pitch, 94 in the outside corner, and that tailing action down and in on the inside corner. I mean, that's the perfectionist that we're talking about. I mean, that's what he wants to do every single pitch. Of course, that can't happen every single pitch. But he strives for that.
Just takes the pitch inside. Well, that's a great example of the kind of action he has on the two-seamer.
Nasty. Yeah.
That was apparent. The first game he ever pitched for the Rays, I think, was against Baltimore. And he threw pitch after pitch like that. A high fly ball hit the other way, deep left. Crawford to the wall, and he got it. Carl Crawford with that great speed, just as he approached the low wall out there, extending out from the foul line, made the catch to retire the side. The great speed of Crawford. Rays lead 2-0. Off after that fine running catch to end the top of the third. We'll take a look at the Progress Energy's energized defensive play.
What a great running catch. Ball tailing away, too, because Cut's a left-handed hitter. So it's fading and fading and fading away from Carl Crawford, but he does have the glove side there, being a left-handed thrower. And what a great play and great acknowledgement, too. Garza in appreciation.
That was the energized defensive play brought to you by Progress Energy. Carl takes the first pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ground ball hit to second. Kennedy up with it. The toss to first. So Carl is the first out here in the home half of the third. Reminder, fans, this year to team up with the St. Petersburg Times, the local newspaper with one of the top 10 sports sections in the country. Subscribe by calling 877 The Times or visiting TampaBay.com. Here's Evan Longoria. Pitch is inside. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a foul ball, and it catches Randy Marsh right in the mask.
He's going, hey, Kurt, you've had enough of them this series. I'm okay. Suzuki's had 2 or 3 of those off the mask. This one misses Kurt, but hits Randy right square center of the mask. Knocks it loose.
Yeah, this is one of those times when the plate umpire sent the catcher out to talk with his pitcher instead of the manager or the pitching coach. Go out and talk to him for a while. Boy, that's such a tough job. You're right, Suzuki has taken a beating back there.
Yeah. Mask again. I mean, it comes back at you. It's coming in at 90, 95. It's going back in your face at over 100 miles an hour.
There's a strike. Soft strike around the knees. 1 and 2. Chin on him, pops him up. Kennedy at second makes this catch. 2 up, 2 down in the third. Base is empty. 2 outs for Carlos Pena. Carlos walked in the first. To Pena. One and one. Almost held up.
Well, he's seen a steady diet of lefties, and Carlson's had some good at bats against all these lefties that the A's have thrown at the Rays this week. Laying off that curveball.
2-1 now.
Overall 241, but 6 home runs off left-handed pitching.
Balls and a strike. And when he's going good, he will zone almost every pitch.
Yeah, he's tough because he'll look for certain pitches, especially when he has the count like he does now.
3-1, and he lifts this one. High fly ball, short right. Cust is there and makes the catch, and boy, that's an adventure to try to track that one and wait for it to come down. We're through 3, 2-0 Rays. trivia question. Aflac asked about it at work. Just 2 active players had more runs batted in through their first 162 games than Evan Longoria. Who would they be? Evan off to another great start this year and just completing 162 games spread over last year and this year. First pitch from Garza, the 4th inning underway, and it's upstairs. Matt Holliday single and an infield hit in the 2nd inning. That hit and a couple walks. Now the bases loaded, and Garza got Hanahan on strikes to get out of that spot. 1-1 now the count. Well, that pitch. Wow. Talk about getting in on a guy.
Yeah, number one, he's got good mechanics. He hides the ball pretty well. He's got good alignment with his feet. He's got a good hip turn. He leads with the lower half of his body. Generates really good arm speed and linear toward his target. He goes right toward his target. That was inside corner. That's exactly where he tied up Holiday.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a good job by Navarro, because if Holiday checks his swing, he keeps that ball in front. 2 strikes and a slider in the dirt. That also gives the pitchers more confidence that you block that thing and you can throw it in the dirt with 2 strikes.
Another foul ball. This one bounding toward the backstop.
He doesn't have to throw a better one. I mean, Matt fouled off a tough pitch, and Matt doesn't have to throw a better one than that. He wants to do it, just do it again. I think it has to be any finer.
Full count.
And that's what I was concerned with. That he was going to, I got to throw a better one because Holiday fouled it out. You throw it again, you're going to get him, but he tried to get even finer with it, and he threw it about 58 feet.
Holiday got off to a bit of a slow start, but he is 13 of his last 27 right now, and his average is up to 275. The home run in the 11th inning here the other night, and he walks. So a 3-2 pitch inside as Holiday heads to first. 3rd walk given up by Garza. And Jason Giambi is on his way to the plate.
In the count, defense playing normal double play depth up the middle. Longoria's playing wide of the bag at 3rd. We'll see as the count goes where they go from there.
Yep. And this one toward the middle and a base hit into center. So he punches that one back through the middle. Holiday stops at 2nd. 2 men on with nobody out.
Yeah, broken bat single right there. Matt trying to go away. Get it over the heart of the plate and just missed catching it. Would have been a double play if he did. He got jammed a little bit, but strong enough to get it up the middle.
So now the hitter is going to be Adam Kennedy. And he lines one into right, going after the first pitch. Holiday's around 3rd on his way to the plate. They're going to hold Kennedy to a single with Giambi going to 3rd, and it's 2-1. So Kennedy jumped on the first pitch, driving in his 6th run.
Yeah, he went up to the first pitch in his last at bat and popped up. This time he gets a fastball up and away. He's able to extend and get through it. You see that uppercut swing. I think if you go up and in, he misses it or pops it up. But they went away and he went up with it. I think he was trying to get it down though. Once he got it up, Kennedy's eyes lit up.
Ryan Sweeney. Pitch inside. So Oakland with its first run of the game. walk and 2 singles. Fly ball back into left. Crawford's going to catch it. Giambi tags. He will score. The throw's back to second to keep Kennedy at first, and the game is tied. So Sweeney on a fly ball the other way evens this game at 2-2. Be sure and stop by your local Hess Express to pick up your 09 Rays pocket schedule. Includes a $5 off coupon for a pair of tickets to see the Rays Saturday nights here at the Trop. Don't miss 3 doors down following the game on the 30th of May. Hess Express, a presenting partner of the 09 Rays Summer Concert Series. Bobby Crosby pops it up. It's going to be foul and will be out of play. Strike 1. The leadoff walk started this inning. Holiday has scored. Giambi, who followed with a base hit, has also scored.
I still go back to that 2-2 slider. I mean, he threw a great one that Matt fouled off. He tried to throw a better one and he bounced it in the dirt, and then he tried to come in with a fastball. He didn't have to throw a better one. I think that's the one thing we're talking about, the perfectionism in Matt. He wants to make it even better, but you got a good hitter in Holiday. He just fell off a great pitch. Do the same thing. You don't have to make it finer. Consequently, he draws the walk.
And Crosby did go. He's out on strikes. Mike Winters down there at first base says, yes, sir, that's a strike. Strikeout number 5.
Yeah, a couple curveballs back to back, and he did go. It's a good call by Mike Winters. Broke the wrists.
2 gone now. Kennedy at first. Jack Hanahan in the batter's box. Strike. Strikes him with a breaking ball. He went 2-2 with him and then struck him out on a fastball up out of the strike zone in the second, leaving the bases loaded. It's foul back a third. 2 strikes.
Well, that was just a late swing right there. That wasn't by design. He just blew the ball by him, but he almost got a double down the left field line.
Upstairs, 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Honor was shaking his head, making Matt Garza shake his head and getting the hitter to think he's not sure what's coming. Matt's still shaking. That's intentional. Usually come back with power fastball. We'll see.
And he just missed inside with that fastball. And the count is full to Hanahan.
Well, that's exactly what they were doing, and that's a great pitch right there. And I tell you what, that didn't miss by much. Randy March, like you said earlier, he's making him hate to get the call. That just missed.
Pitch is foul back. It's out of play. We'll see another 3-2 pitch. Well, the one thing about Marsh is he is so consistent. So there aren't really any complaints. I mean, a pitcher can get frustrated, but that's the way he calls the strike zone, and he is just consistent with that, and that's what you want. That's what makes a good umpire, and Randy Marsh is a good one.
Yeah, as long as you're consistent and you do it both ways, and it doesn't change as you get deeper into the game.
3-2, strike three call. And Hanahan maybe looking for the fastball, and the curve froze him. He's out on strikes. We go to the bottom of the fourth, tied. Evan Longoria. Only two active players have had more runs batted in through the first 162 games than Longoria. I'll tell you, those two pretty good active hitters right there. Great company for Evan.
Well, one of them for sure is going to the Hall of Fame. Ryan Braun's off to that kind of start also. Those numbers for Longoria, you'd repeat that every year. Those are same types of numbers.
Jason Bartlett chops it even with a bag at third. Hanahan makes the pickup and the throw. One pitch, one out. And let's check in with Todd Callis.
Well, Dwayne, you know this is our first theme trip of the year. Last year, Joe Madden had a couple of themes, and what better guy to talk to about the all-white trip down to South Florida than Bobby Ramos, the only one that didn't have to go shopping this week. What do you think about today's idea, Booby?
I think it's a great idea.
Well, if I could, I would do my best Bobby Ramos, but it just wouldn't do it justice. So we're going to wait until they take care of the mic to follow through with that. Willie Ibar, it's now 2-0. All right, Todd, tell him to start from the beginning because we missed part of it. We don't want to miss.
Dwayne says start from the beginning. Bobby, can you do that?
Yeah, no problem. We're going all white. And I think Tatani's got the most original.
Who's Tatan?
Tatani's Fantomas. Scott Kersey.
He's got Kersey.
Yeah, I call him the Fannin. Nice play. That's a good play. But he's got the real Guayabera with a nice top jacket white, and he's really looking sharp.
So who else are you looking forward to? He's the main guy? I mean, you didn't have to go out and get any new clothes, did you?
Chico said he would never wear white. I'm looking forward to see Chico.
And everything you had today came right out of the closet, right?
I had it for the last couple of years. It's all good.
Well, you're going to see all your friends and family down in South Florida later tonight, so thank
you. I'm looking forward to see everybody. My love to you guys.
He's the best, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, he's the personality down in that bullpen. There's no question about that. But he's really the personality wherever he goes. 2 outs here. The great little catch by Brayton, a diving catch in foul territory. Retired Ibar. And the first pitch to Hockey is in there for a strike.
Boy, that was. He got off the mound on that bunt attempt by Ibar.
1-1 now. In the bottom of the fourth, Rays with a couple of runs, 4 hits. Oakland 2 runs, 3 hits. Strike 2 to Aki. It's 1-2.
Tough guy to work the pitch count up on because he's only got 48 pitches, 30. He's pounding at 34 strikes. Very efficient. Now 50 pitches, 35.
A little tap foul. Great was the battler as a kid. He lost his mother early. His grandmother had a big impact in his life. He was in Stockton, California. And baseball really was a great outlet for him. And he credits playing the game with helping to turn him around as a kid. Fly ball to left. Holiday is going to make the catch. 1, 2, 3. We're through 4. We head into the 5th inning. Game tied 2-2.
Of the Tampa Bay Rays and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Omar Garcia-Parra is still on the sideline here with the Oakland Ball Club. They'd hope to maybe have him activated sometime during this series. First pitch to Cabrera. Skied to left toward the line, and Crawford's there to make a routine catch on this one. So that's the first out of the 5th inning. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, it's interesting because the A's went out and traded for Matt Holliday. They re-signed Jason Giambi. They signed Nomar Garciaparra, Orlando Cabrera. They wanted to get more offense and bring more fans to the ballpark. Get some veteran guys here, and then Eric Chavez they thought was going to be healthy.
They now have 6 men on the disabled list, including Eric Chavez. Breaking ball to Suzuki's a strike. They really struggled at the end of the season last year. You know, at one point, close to the All-Star break, close to the middle of July, they were just 4 games behind the Angels in the West. Then the tough play, and no one will make it. Very difficult. Garza tried to get off the mound, and Longoria coming over from third. Kurt Suzuki has an infield hit. But the A's then lost 44 of their last 68 games after being 4 back of the Angels in the middle of July. They really struggled with their offense last year. Their on-base percentage was not good, and that's something that this Oakland club has really emphasized in the last few years.
That's exactly right. And this guy right here had a pretty good power year for him. Now he's back hitting third, but they thought with the signing of Holiday and Giambi and healthy Eric Chavez and Nomar that Cuss would probably be their sixth hitter. He's in the 3 spot. He's lost this whole series. Good off speed right there. First pitch.
Just 0 for 2, and the Rays retired him. As you look at his last year's numbers, they retired him on a fine catch in the third by Carl Crawford. That shift on now.
33 home runs a year ago. Yeah, the 0-1 count now. They say he's not going to bunt now.
Okay, Todd, listen to me. Wait.
I think at 2.
That tied him up right there off of the off-speed pitch. Changeup. He powers a fastball 95 in on the hands. He can go up the ladder on Cuss too. Go up high above his hands, up and in. He does strike out a lot.
Cut a little piece of it.
He's not looking for a little single to left, is he? With that 0-2 swing.
That's right. Yeah, he's not one of those guys who's going to choke up with 2 strikes.
No, he's all or nothing. That's it. Matt struck him out on a nasty slider in the first inning.
The second time, the 0-2 pitch away. 1-2. 1 on, 1 out. Suzuki reaching on the infield hit.
All right, Todd. I got your back, buddy. Swing. I tell you.
And a swing and a miss. He overpowered him upstairs. Got that fastball up there. That's strikeout number 7. The Corona Beach Bar hosts 75 or more people in an exclusive setting during Rays baseball. Reserve the Corona Beach Bar by calling 727-825-3406 or email group sales at raysbaseball.com. Got Holiday in the batter's box.
All right, batter, listen to me. Wait. Oh.
Upstairs.
You know, speaking of working the count and on-base percentage, Cito Gasson yesterday had an interesting comment talking to Cito about what they've done in Toronto. He says, I don't want my guys looking for a walk. It makes them too defensive. If they're an aggressive hitter, I want them to stay aggressive.
Chopper to short. Bartlett with the toss to Aki, and that's going to do it on the force play. Suzuki retired. We're tied 2-2, middle of 5. Hard, eat fresh. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Gulf Coast Honda. Visit GulfCoastHondaDealers.com to find great deals on fuel-efficient Honda. Rays tied with Oakland. It's a 2-2 ball game. Gabe Kapler to open the home half of the fifth. Alice Braden, the 25-year-old left-hander. Braden got off to a 3-2 start in April with an earned run average in the low twos. Breaking ball, and that's in there for a strike. Kapler doubled in the second. Our checkers double of the game. They chased home Willie Ibar with the first run, and then Kapler scored the second run for the Rays in that inning. Foul ball straight back, and that's just off the facing of our high camera booth over here, and look at the damage. Oh, Jimmy's okay. He didn't even hear it. Ooh, pretty close with that pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Missed by that much. I saw you, Jimmy. That pitch did too.
Bouncer into the dugout. First he took aim at Jimmy, and now he's bouncing foul balls into the dugout. Yeah, but it did hurt his appetite, though. This pitch is a little bit low. 2-2.
Randy Marsh down there looking at him along with Gabe Kapler. How is that, Jimmy? Is that good? You got some for all of us?
2-2 and a line shot grabbed by Hanahan down at third. I don't know if Kapler's hit a ball harder all year than that one. Boy, he smoked that one right down to third, and Hanahan grabbed it.
No, that would have been his second double. I mean, he just right there. Hanahan didn't have to go anywhere. Just a little bit of a jump right there. That's it. Right at him. I think he got up higher after he caught the ball.
Yeah. Well, he's probably playing a little deeper as well. Here's Navarro. DeHonor has himself a base hit. Single into left. He makes the turn at first and holds. Hit number 5 for the Rays as Navarro picks up a base hit right-handed. Now the top of the order, here's B.J. Upton. B.J. with a couple hits in this game. And a shot straight back into center. That's got some carry. Sweeney to the track, a couple steps from the wall, made the catch. Upton gave that one a ride. Right back down the middle, just to the right of the 404 sign in center field.
Yeah, and BJ's letting you know right there. He got, if not all of it, pretty darn close. Sweeney's playing deep anyway. We saw that yesterday, how deep they play here in the outfield. There's yesterday's catches to his left center, to right center against the wall. And here's the game saver right here. Last out of the game. That would have been a triple at least in a tie game on BJ's drive there. Sweeney was playing deep anyway. It's a nice catch, but he was playing deep. On Upton.
It's Carl Crawford. Alice Braden taking a little too much time for Crawford, who gets time. Bounces one foul. Carl 0 for 2. His average is .318. He started the day at .321. He's had a great month. Back into the mid of Suzuki. Rays scored 2 runs in the second. Oakland 2 in the fourth. Navarro back in. Rays lost a base runner to Braden on the caught stealing, the pickoff caught stealing of Upton in the second. Up the left field side. Will it stay fair? That's foul. Just slicing off the bat of the left-handed Carl Crawford.
Yeah, you got a bat and a ball out over the plate. He's just trying to make contact, just trying to put it in play, and he almost got a double out of it.
Navarro singled with 1 out. He's at first with 2 outs. 0-2, and Crawford rolls 1 foul back toward the on-deck circle, and Evan Longoria. We mentioned earlier Braden got off to a good start in April. He's 0-3 in May, however, with a .635 earned run average. He's 3-5 overall. He's been shut out 3 times. Crawford, a late swing, trying to protect, is out on strikes. No runs, a hit, a man left through 5, tied 2-2. Sign up at Kane's Furniture for a chance to meet one of your favorite Rays players. And if Rays pitchers come up with 10 strikeouts in a home game, just log on to CaneStrikeoutContest.com and print a voucher that can be redeemed at Kane's for a free Papa John's pizza. Get to Kane's today. 7 strikeouts so far in this game for Garza. He leads off facing Jason Giambi. Giambi has walked and singled. Single up the middle in the 4th inning after Holiday had opened the frame with a walk, and both scored. The strike gets 1-1. Rays continue with the shift, and there's the breakout so far. Hits by direction. You see 7 to left, 7 to center. He's not as dominant pull as he used to be.
No, it's kind of coming full circle for him. As we talked about when he first started out in his career, he hit the ball at left center very, very well. And he's gotten a couple of hits today, one today up the middle, but in this series, he's hit a couple of the left side and 3 overall. So not as dominant pulling the ball as he had been in the past.
Pulls this one right into the hole, and right to Aki, though. and he takes care of that. So Aki, who's been stationed out there in the shift in shallow right, handles that. That has kept him busy. He made a couple fine plays here Monday night from that spot on Giambi. Here's Adam Kennedy. Which is a strike.
Pitch right there. Off speed, tailing away. And Adams been first ball hitting. That's why you saw off speed right there. He's been first ball fastball hitting today.
1-1. Garza right now a little over 80 pitches in this game. Curveball stays wide. It's 2-1.
You know, Cito, I was trying to tag that Cito Casson story, and Matt Holliday was out on 2 pitches. You know, he said the difference with what they're doing with the Toronto Blue Jays is that, you know, if you have speed, he said that's fine to work the count and all that, but he wants guys hitting a double. Little flinch right there, then Randy Marsh finally calls it. The ball got in on Randy, too.
Well, you know, it makes sense what Cito is saying. It makes a lot of sense, really. I mean, if you got a big guy who might hit a double, all right, might have hit a double.
Yeah, he said it's great to draw a walk, but it might take you 3 hits to score a run. Yep. And that's true because Oakland, from the Ricky Henderson days, which was way before Billy Beane, they really haven't had it. They don't do a running game, and they haven't had a running game in the last 6 or 7 years. I remember Jeremy Giambi leading off for them at one point, Jason's brother, and he didn't have speed. They liked his on-base percentage, but he's right. You had to have 2-3 hits to score a run. That's Cito's philosophy, and Gene Tennis coming back to Toronto.
3-2 to chopper toward the middle, tough play, and Aki makes it a throw wide, however, and Pena had to come off the bag. Kennedy is aboard. Well, Aki throwing across his body came up with the ball and got rid of the throw, but it pulls Pena off the bag, and that's a base hit for Kennedy.
And it should be. That was a really tough play for Aki, all in one motion. And throwing as he's going away from the play, and Carlos Pena does the right thing to make sure the ball doesn't go past him, so Kennedy can't get to second. He has to come off the bag. Nice effort.
So Ryan Sweeney steps in, 1 on, 1 out. And a looping fly ball into short right. Read well by Kennedy. He's on his way to third. The throw's wide. Throw back to second and safe there. Some aggressive base running by the A's. Kennedy read that pop fly into right very well, and Sweeney had the play developing in front of him, and now 2 men are in scoring position.
Yeah, that was that ball really you got to get into second base to keep the double play in order. I know Gabe's trying to make the great play, but Kennedy did. I mean, look how close he is to the bag. I mean, he did. He read that ball perfectly. As soon as Sweeney put it in play, Kennedy was gone. He was off and running. And when the overthrow happens, Sweeney takes second base, eliminates the double play situation.
And it's really a big move up there by Sweeney, because with 1 out, you got that double play. 1 pitch, you could be out of the inning. It's not going to be that simple now.
And now Garza has to go for the strikeout to save the run.
Bobby Crosby takes a pitch too low. 1 ball, no strikes.
I mean, I know Gabe was trying to make a great play, but Kennedy wasn't hesitating on the blooper. He was gone. He knew it was going to be a base hit. So really, you just got to come up and get the ball into second base and keep it at first and third and 1 out.
Barrel back. That's out of play. 1-1.
Garza has strikeout stuff. This is where you try to go for the strikeout. It's exactly what he's trying to do right now. Got the good curveball, the hard slider.
1-2. Throwing gets ahead of Crosby. This is where he needs to be with him.
Well, this is where Deanna Navarro has to help him. If he drops a hard breaking ball right here, whether it be slider in the dirt or goes fastball up, but especially if it's a breaking ball, he's got to make sure he blocks it. Keeps it in front. Like they're going fastball.
It's down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball popping away from Navi. Had an idea looking toward third at Kennedy, who ducked back into the bag there.
That's the thing about Garza. He's got a few different ways to strike out. He's trying to go down and in with the 2-seamer there to get the strikeout. He can also strike you out the fastball up, the 4-seamer, or a hard slider.
2-2. He got him. Crosby reaching for that one as it broke away from him on a slider. So a nice pitch for out number 2. Big strikeout.
That's right. That's the slide. He's got so many ways. Once he got ahead of the count to get Crosby out, after missing on the 2-seamer, he comes back with the slider for the strikeout. Now you just got to bear down and finish it off. That's where you pick up your defense right there.
Here's Jack Hanahan. Starts with a breaking ball, missing. He went 2-2 with Hanahan in the second with the bases loaded and struck him out on a fastball up. He got him to chase. Then he struck him out looking at a breaking ball on a 3-2 pitch in the 4th inning. 1-1.
Well, that had some movement and some giddy up on it at the end. The ball just jumped out of his hand.
All game in the top half of inning 6, tied 2-2. And it's second and third, 2 outs in the pitch. Outside with a fastball.
I think Randy wanted to call it. I've seen him flinch 2 or 3 times. Randy Marsh, and he elected not to make that call. As you said, he's pretty much pinpoint. If you hit the black of the plate, he'll call it. If you miss by an inch, he's not going to call it.
Now it's 3 balls and a strike.
Technically, that's book rule. I mean, that's what the MLB and Mike Port, they oversee MLB oversees the umpires now, and they want it to be called by the book rule. And they've got guys grading these umpires on that.
Here's the 3-1. He walks him. So the bases are going to be loaded for the second time for Oakland in this game. Jim Hickey's going to go to the mound to give Garza a little bit of a breather with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and Orlando Cabrera coming to the plate.
Well, Orlando's a cripple hitter, meaning he's a good 2-0 fastball hitter, 3-1 fastball hitter, or first pitch fastball hitter. He likes to jump on you, and he can be a run producer in those counts, so you got to be careful first pitch. Orlando's not up there looking for a walk, is what I'm saying. He's looking to drive some runs in.
Cabrera 0 for 3 against Garza today. Hitting .239 for the year. He drove in a couple runs in last night's game. Had a couple of hits in that game. Had 2 hits Tuesday. 1 for 3 in the opening game of the series Monday, and that was a home run.
And he likes that first good fastball he sees. He likes to jump on it. He got a 2-0 fastball yesterday from Scott Kazmir and drilled it into left field for a 2-run single.
Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. He swings and lifts a fly ball to center. He went after the first pitch and is out number 3. And for the second time in this game, Oakland will leave the bases loaded. Middle of the 6th, tied 2-2. against the Oakland Ball Club. Our Toyota trend through the first 162 games over the last 2 seasons for Evan Longoria. 38 homers and 131 runs batted in. He's 4th in home runs. Brian Braun had 47 and Ryan Howard had 43. Tony Clark had 41 and then Evan with 38. Toyota trend, and a pretty good trend to start a career. Here's Evan to start the bottom of the 6th. He caps it foul down the third base side. Our game tied 2-2.
Evan hasn't had a whole lot of good pitches to hit. Of course, everybody's bearing down on him now. And even that one, he expanded his own zone off speed away. The ball, but he chased it.
Ground ball, shortstop. Cabrera comes up throwing. One away here in the 6th inning.
Both pitches were balls, and that's the only problem. You know, when you start bearing down on Evan Longoria, you just got to make sure they want to walk him, let him walk him. Carlos Pena would be up there with men on base.
There's Carlos Pena. Carlos 0 for 1 with a walk. Pitch is inside. 1-0. Rays scored 2 runs in the second when they picked up 3 of their 5 hits. One and one.
Braden's really been able to repeat his delivery. Very compact. Just a quick drop back, a quick turn, and gets over the front leg and just drives it toward his target. His pitch count's below 70. Very efficient.
Pop foul, carry out of play.
Hey, the A's have, you know, pretty good young pitching. They've got a pretty big future with Brett Anderson yesterday and Josh Outman the day before that, and now Dallas Braden.
Carlos waves and misses. He's out on strikes. 2 up, 2 down. Experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Whitney Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Whitney Bank Club features an upscale full menu buffet and inclusive drink options. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or go to RaysBaseball.com for more information. It's Jason Bartlett. He takes the soft strike to start this at bat. Rays have 5 hits. They've drawn a walk, 2 runs so far off Dallas Braden, the 25-year-old lefty. Bartlett lifts one up the right side, out of play. So that foul ball advances the count to 0-2.
And he's smart, you know, 3rd time around the lineup. He's starting the righties off with changeups. And that makes that fastball look even quicker. Jason was late on it.
2 outs with the bases empty. There's a shot. Well hit. Deep to left. Gone. Home run for Jason Bartlett. It comes on an 0-2 pitch. And the Rays lead 3-2. Bartlett hits it out. For Alltel Wireless, there's a circle for everyone. Call 5, 10, or 20 free numbers on any network with My Circle exclusively from Alltel.
Yeah, he kind of did Jason a favor because Jason just fouled off the fastball late, and he throws a slow curveball. 0-2 when Jason's in, or slider when Jason's in contact mode, and he hung it. Jason hit it out.
Now Willie Ibar takes the pitch for a strike. So Bartlett already has established his career high in a single season with 6 home runs.
You know, and the home runs, I've had people ask me, I said, does he have that much power? I said, you know, his home runs aren't just getting over the wall. When they're hit, you know they're gone. They're not just getting over the edge of the left field wall. He squares it up. He is stronger, like you've said all season.
Yeah, the amazing thing to me, he comes in stronger this year, but his foot speed is still great. You know, he makes all the plays at shortstop. He's running as well as he ever has, and he's got this additional power. He's just stronger.
And that was, again, a short, compact swing in contact count. 0-2. He's just looking to make contact and Braden threw him a slow breaking ball right into his swing. He squared it up. Bartlett executed, but I thought it was a mistake in the sequencing there. 0-2.
3-2 is down. So a walk. Comes following the home run, and we'll get Aki up there. You know, the other thing about his home runs, he's hit them to all fields.
You bet.
I mean, he hit that one to left. The home run he hit up in New York against Pettit was to right center field. He's hit one out to center, one to right, hit some to left.
Now that's really what I'm saying. He's not just, you know, pulling the ball down a left field line and hooking it inside a short porch foul pole or something like that. His home runs are legit. And you know they're gone as soon as he makes contact.
So Ibar is at first, and here's Akinori Iwamura. Aki 0 for 2. Bounces it foul back toward the stands. So Aki, who came in hitting .467 against lefties, looking for his first hit of the day off this one.
I think Aki cheats. I mean, I think he was looking fastball in, wanted to pull, and he got a slow breaking ball and pulled off it.
What's up?
I think that's why he keeps you honest, is they do try to pound him in. You know, both righties and lefties will try to throw him fastballs in. And when you do that once in a while and he's looking for it, he can hit you in the gap in right center like he did yesterday for a triple.
It's popped up. Left side. Hanahan in. Suzuki making the call, and he's got it to retire the side. But the Rays grab the lead. Jason Bartlett connects on an 0-2 breaking pitch. Hits it out, and the Rays lead 3-2 through 6.
Seventh inning baseball. Rays leading the A's 3-2. Kurt Suzuki to lead things off for Oakland. Interesting score from Chicago today. The Minnesota Twins had lost 9 in a row on the road. And today, Ron Gardenhire switched up the lineup a little bit. And boy, did it work. As Joe Mauer was in the 2 spot. And the Minnesota Twins defeated the Chicago White Sox 20-1. Matching the largest margin of defeat in the history of the White Sox. Joe Mauer, guys, in that 2 spot went 3 for 4 with 6 RBIs. Remember, the Rays missed him in that late April series. There you see the score. Mauer has only played in the month of May, and here are his numbers. 417, 8 home runs, 24 RBIs, 500 on base percentage, 819 slugging percentage. I'm sure they're happy to have their catcher back, guys.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things he's done is shorten up his stroke this year, because he was on a year ago a home run drought. 1 strike pitch to Suzuki here in the 7th inning is popped into shallow right. Kepler makes the catch and Suzuki is out of there. And so Mauer has come back. You know, let's see, what did he do last year? I'm looking for a note I made on him, because he got to 5 home runs this year in his first 58 at bats, and he didn't hit 5 until like 350 plus at bats last year.
Yeah, I mean, that is the only, if you can knock him at all, that was the only knock that people had on him. He doesn't hit for power. He's a 210 batting champ already in the American League. He's an excellent defensive catcher also.
Jack Cust takes the pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes. We'll see the Twins and Joe Mauer. You see Joe Nelson, the righty, and Brian Schaus, the lefty, busy in the bullpen. See the Twins on the next homestand here. 2 balls, no strikes. The Rays leave immediately following this game, and they'll take on the Marlins in the Citrus Series starting tomorrow night. And then they go to Cleveland for 4 and back in here over the weekend starting Friday night, the 29th, against the Twins. Line drive, and Aki dives but can't come up with it. So through the shift, Cust has himself a base hit.
One heck of a try by Aki. I mean, he was deep, and they had him positioned just about right. And Aki, it's about the only ball he hasn't been able to get to. Good thing Cust didn't get that one in the air, because he was trying to. He had a lot of topspin on that. Look at that, right off the tip of the glove. A nice dive. Actually, I don't know if he even touched the glove, but it's the topspin that got by Aki. And had Jack Cust got some backspin, that would have been in the seats. So he could take that at this point.
And Holiday pitch down and in. Garza a little over 100 pitches now as he works here. 1 out, 1 on in the 7th. Wave and a miss. 1-1.
Yeah, he's over that 104, 105 pitches now coming up here. And he had 120 in his last start. That's why the bullpen is double barrel down there with Nelson the righty and Schaus the lefty.
It's 2 balls and a strike. 8 strikeouts in the game, 4 walks, a couple runs on 7 hits.
You know, this could be his last hitter. I mean, you've got Giambi and Kennedy to follow. They've had pretty good at bats today.
The pitch is lifted into shallow center. Right there is Upton, who makes the catch. The Holiday is out of there. And Joe Madden comes out of the dugout with an eye toward the bullpen. Jason Giambi is due. And he's going to make the move, so that's going to be it for Garza. So Matt Garza will depart. 6 2/3 of work today. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Metro PCS. Unlimit yourself. look at our Jaguar performer of the game, Matt Garza. Garza 6 2/3. He leaves with a man on and a 3-2 lead. Check out the new R Performance vehicles at your local Jaguar dealer or on JaguarUSA.com. So it's Brian Schaus, the lefty, facing Giambi, and a ground ball to first. Pena is going to make the play unassisted to retire the side. No runs, a hit, one left, one pitch, and that takes care of the top of the seventh. 3-2 Rays. Rays opened the scoring in this game back in the second on the double by Gabe Kapler. That chased home Willie Ibar. Kapler later scored on the infield hit by B.J. Upton to make it 2-0. Oakland tied it in the fourth. Kennedy's base hit scored a run. A fly ball scored another one. And then Jason Bartlett in the sixth belted a solo homer to make it 3-2. And it's Gabe Kapler to open the home half of the seventh. The pitch is in there for a strike. Kapler, last time up, hit the ball very hard on a line drive to third, and Hanahan made the catch. In a bit, 1-1. So Garza's out after 107 pitches. Brian Schaus made one pitch and got the final out in the top half of this inning. That's a strike to Kapler, puts him behind in the count. Kapler, Navarro, and then Upton coming up here in the bottom of the seventh inning. There's a shot right back down the middle of the center field, but Sweeney's there to make the catch.
That's the one spot you want to keep it away from.
Yeah, he catches everything, and it doesn't have to be hit at him as we've seen in this series. Here's Deoner Navarro. Navarro singled into left in the fifth. A strike.
He's got such a slow breaking ball, that 73. I would call it a curve. People say it's a slide. I think it's a curveball. But the pitch to Bartlett wasn't a put-away pitch. So to the one he hung up there for the home run, an 0-2 count.
There's a foul ball popped back. That's going to be out of play. So it's now a 1-2 count. Dallas Braden, 25 years old, working here in the 7th. And a fly ball back into left field. That's got a little carry butt to the track, and that's it as Holiday hauls it in. 2 outs in the 7th. Get in on the 09 Rays action. Exclusive on-field seating with your group of 50 or more in the Checkers Bullpen Cafe. Available dates are filling fast. Act now to make your private group reservations right behind the Rays bullpen by calling 727-825-3406 or online at RaysBaseball.com. Wave and a miss now by Upton. That's a strike.
It's a good changeup right there. First pitch changeup. That's what he's been doing to the lineup here this last 8 or 9 batters to the righties. First pitch off speed away.
But wide there, 1-1.
Try to power a fastball, and he's been going inside with 2 strikes the last couple of righties. And Navarro just missed hit one out. That was the same type of breaking ball. 73. He just hit it off the end of the bat. Almost tipped it out of the ballpark.
2-1 now.
BJ gets one that goes into his swing. I think you're going to see him hit it out.
And he pops this one up. Foul ball right side. Crosby hustling after it, but it's out of play. Just behind the Rays dugout. The count is 2-2. Braden's a cool customer out there.
He is.
He's starting opening day for the Athletics, and somebody asked him, he was nervous, and he said, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "You know where I came from?" This isn't a thing to be nervous about here.
Well, he's got good mound presence. He's got good rhythm, and he's got a good confident look on his face. Suzuki just startled him, though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flinching going on down there today, I should say. Almost nighttime.
Yep. One of those in-between starts here.
I don't call it night until I see it actually dark outside.
Yeah.
95 pitches, 68 strikes. That's excellent. 70% of the time throwing the ball for a strike. He's been pounding his own and repeating the delivery.
2-2 and is low. So the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. And BJ is out on strikes. It's a 1-2-3-7. 4th strikeout for Dallas Braden. We head into the 8th now. 3-2 Tampa Bay. the hold of the stay in the game hold of the day, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. The Rays hold leaders Shouse and Wheeler. Shouse is in the game and Wheeler's in the bullpen right now. And the pitch to Kennedy low and away, just as middle relievers keep their teams in the game. You too can stay in the game with Just for Men Hair Color. Kennedy is 2 for 3. Shouse misses inside. 2-0. Shouse got Giambi on one pitch to end the 7th. 40-year-old left-hander delivers. There's a strike. It's 2-1. Numbers on Shouse this year. Been busy in the Rays bullpen. That's strike 2.
Got a call there. Painted him up right there in the outside corner. He's having a big series. 7 for 16. A lot of those on fastballs over the plate.
Fouls this one back. Garza worked 6 2/3, made 107 pitches, gave up 2 runs, 7 hits, walked 4, and struck out 8 in this game. Oh, pretty close, but ball 3, and the count is full.
And Navarro's setting up way outside. Ball just runs too much. Slider from underneath out of the zone.
Bouncer foul outside of first, so we'll do a 3-2 pitch again. Time down in the vicinity of the Rays bullpen and beyond.
And really for Kennedy, he's such a low ball hitter. This is actually, you gotta just make sure you stay away from him. You don't want to hang him down into his swing. He's got such an uppercut, he can get to the low ball.
He lifts a foul the other way this time. It's going to be out of play. Crawford hustling over there, but no play on it. So a 3-2 count, and Kennedy has extended this at bat. This is the 10th pitch. And a liner up the right side. That's foul. Beyond the bullpen.
That's what I'm talking about right there. I mean, that's just his swing path. And that's the way Brian Shouse throws. I mean, it's actually a good matchup for Adam Kennedy unless you can get that slider away and you can chase it.
Three balls, 2 strikes. He just got a piece of that one with a big cut. So as brief as the at bat was for Giambi, Kennedy has extended his at bat here in the 8th. Yeah, with the 12th pitch of the at bat.
Yeah, that's not like Brian can change the eyesight or even wants to. You just got to stay with his strength.
And he struck him out. Took 12 pitches, and Shouse finally got him.
And he took something off. That's a great pitch. Look at this pitch right here. Bottom fell out of it. Low ball hitter likes the ball down. You just go a little lower, and that's what he did. He got Adam Kennedy swinging.
So a big first out here in the 8th.
That was a battle right there.
Oh, Ryan Sweeney. He hits a high chopper left side. Longoria's going to have to turn and throw. Not in time. An infield hit. A big chop on the left side of the infield, and Sweeney is aboard on the chopper to third.
It's a tough play because Sweeney can run, center fielder, full 360 and no chance. Good step and a half past the bag.
So now Joe Madden comes out to make another pitching change with Crosby due up. He wants Wheeler. We'll be back in just a this year, team up with the St. Petersburg Times, the local newspaper with one of the top 10 sports sections in the country. Subscribe by calling 877 The Times or visiting TampaBay.com. Dan Wheeler, pitcher number 3 for the Rays, following Garza and Schaus.
17 games for Dan Wheeler already.
He's on to face the right-handed bat of Bobby Crosby.
I was going to say Bobby is a first ball fastball hitter too. He likes to jump on that first one.
So Sweeney with the lead. First pitch to Crosby, and it's upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Wheeler was in the game here Tuesday for a third of an inning. Gave up the walk and it turned out an unearned run in that 11 inning 4-1 loss. To first, and Sweeney is back in. Schaus won the battle with Kennedy, struck him out. Touch for the infield hit by Sweeney on that high chopper. Now Crosby. Crosby against Garza today was 0 for 2 with a walk, a couple strikeouts in there. Rays would like the ground ball double play ball here. And a ground ball to third. Longoria to second, one, and Aki will not get the throw away. So they got the ground ball. They got the force on Sweeney at second base.
Yeah, nice feed too by Evan Longoria. He knew he didn't have a chance for 2. He just wanted to make sure. He took a little time to make sure he threw a strike over there to Aki. And Aki did the right thing, eating the ball and getting out of the way because he had no chance for 2. But you got to make sure you get the lead runner, and the guys did. Slow ground ball right there too.
Now it's Jack Hanahan. All of his at-bats today came against the Rays starter, Matt Garza. Pitch to him is away. 1 ball, no strikes. Go for 2. He walked in the 6th inning. Crosby at first, 2 gone. Down and in. balls, no strikes. Andrew Bailey is up in the Oakland bullpen. We saw him the other night. He has a very good arm.
Boy, he pitches at about 93, 94 with his fastball. He's got good overall stuff. 31 punch outs already this year. 25+ innings.
2-0 pitch. And that one is down, a fastball. 3 balls, no strikes, the count to Hanahan. And a strike, Hanahan taking a fastball. Off the bag at first. Three-one pitch and a ground ball. That's going to go through the right side for a base hit. Down to second goes Crosby. So Hanahan singles. Oakland now with runners at first and second. 2 outs in the top of the order. Orlando Cabrera will be coming up.
We talked about Orlando in these situations, run scoring situations. He likes that first pitch. Ed Garza was aware of that in the 6th inning with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and he got a high fastball, and Orlando chased it and popped it up in center field for the out.
Wheeler faced Cabrera here Tuesday night, got him on a line drive into right field. The pitch is a strike.
Around the outside corner.
Two men on with 2 men out. All game in the top of the 8th. This one is wide. Counts 1-1. The original hit in the inning, the infield hit. Sweeney was forced at second on the fielder's choice. Hanahan grounded a single through the right side. 1-1 to count to Cabrera. And a ground ball headed up the middle. Upton's going to charge it. Crosby's going to try to score, and the throw is not going to be in time. The throw to second, and now they have a man hung up between first and second. Runner is tagged out, and that's going to end the inning. But the base hit to center by Cabrera. And the game is tied. A base hit and a run batted in for Cabrera. It's a 3-3 contest.
we have to go and play a National League team and maybe see a ballpark that we don't get to see much. And it's kind of fun to watch the pitchers hit sometimes.
E.J. Upton with our Geico quote of the game. His younger brother, Justin, hit 2 bombs last night as part of a doubleheader victory for the Diamondbacks in the second game. You see the pitching matchups for the series. And, guys, the Marlins bullpen went 13 1/3 innings in last night's doubleheader that ended at 1:48 in the morning. So they called up a couple of guys today from the minor leagues to try and short things up. Marlins and the Rays, the Citrus Series kicks off tomorrow. We'll have all 3 games for you. Dwayne, back to you.
All right, it'll be Ricky Delasco tomorrow against Andy Sonnenstein. Well, we go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Rays will face Andrew Bailey out of the bullpen for the 19th time.
Yeah, 119 batting average against in his 25 1/3 innings.
Pitch to Carl Crawford is in there for a strike.
He's got a great arm. He's got closer stuff. Talked about him the other night.
Tapper right side, and that's going to be a foul ball. And Bailey was in for 2 innings Tuesday night. Gave up 3 hits. Struck out 3 and walked a couple. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Crawford shoots it back into center field. Sweeney's back there for it, though, and he makes the catch. That's the first out. Hit it somewhere else.
Yeah, they had him positioned right, too. I mean, he was playing a little bit in left center. Just a few strides over his head.
Here's Evan Longoria. 11's 0 for 3 today. And he waves and misses. Strike 1.
Cutter right there. A little late movement off the outside corner.
Two. And we were impressed by this Oakland bullpen. There's a line drive and a base hit. Headed back into left field. Longoria makes the turn and holds. He hit a breaking ball, an 0-2 breaking ball.
Sure did. He waited nicely on it. He saw a cutter away. Saw a good fastball away. And he gets an 0-2 breaking ball and goes down and gets it. Look at the back leg right there. That's how you get down through a low pitch. And that was a low curveball right there. And he shoots it into left field for the single.
The line for Shell is 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 1 K. The line for Braden, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks, 1 home run. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks, 1 home run.
Now Carlos Pena fouls it as the pitch came in on him, and he bounced it toward the dugout.
Carlos got a cutter right there also off the inside corner.
One and one. Around his feet, 2 balls and a strike.
He's got a cutter like Mariano Rivera now as far as velocity. That's how Mariano's showing, about 89 to 91 with the cutter. Where Mariano used to throw at 94, 95.
Rays have Longoria at first, 1 away. 2-1 the count on Pena. Oh, he had an idea there. Big cut at that fastball. And the count goes to 2-2.
Yeah, this one was 94. This is a four-seam fastball. He just went gas up above the hands of Carlos Pena.
Two and two the count to Carlos. Bounce it back. He might have pitched there too.
He got a good pitch to hit though,
yep.
too. In this 2-2 count, Carlos knew it. Got one down and out over the plate.
Carlos stepping back in. Ball 3 is down and in. So full count.
Throwing the whole arsenal at Carlos Pena. That was the cutter again. So we've seen 3 cutters, fastball up, fastball down. I don't think Carl's going to see the curveball.
No. Full count to Pena. And a high popper down the right side. Foul ball chased by Kennedy. Down near the bullpen, and Kennedy got it. Boy, that's a catch. Kennedy just short of the bullpen. Near the stands, got that glove out there. That was quite a grab. Yeah, not an easy play.
He tracked it the whole way and stayed with it. Exactly right. Let's take a look. I mean, he's got his eyes on it the whole way. Doesn't really check where he's at. He just didn't want to lose sight of the ball and just had enough room to make the play.
There's Jason Bartlett. Bartlett gave the Rays the lead in the 6th with a homer. Oakland tied it with a run in the 8th. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Longoria at first, 2 gone.
Correction, 2 shots is line. The is charged 2 shots due to the Cleaver's choice.
The home run by Bartlett. Came on an 0-2 pitch, his 6th of the year. Swings and lets a fly ball to center. Sweeney is there and makes the catch to retire the side. Rays do not score. They leave a man. We go to the 9th, tied 3-3. Sports Florida brought to you by Tobacco Free Florida. Tobacco-free Florida wants you to be tobacco-free. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com for more information. Aflac, ask about it at work. And by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. Back at Tropicana Field, headed into the ninth inning. The Rays and the A's are tied. It's a 3-3 ball game. And Troy Percival will take over on the mound, the fourth Rays pitcher, making his 14th appearance.
Yeah, Troy's ERA is 4.91. He has pitched better as of late, though. Showing a little bit more life on that fastball.
Percival making his first appearance of this series. He worked in that Sunday game against Cleveland. One inning and picked up a couple strikeouts. And boy, he had some extra life on his fastball in that game. Kurt Suzuki leads off, and the first pitch is a strike call. Fastball to start Suzuki. Cust will be next, and then Holiday. Upstairs, 1-1. Garza worked the front 6 2/3, gave up 2 runs, 7 hits. Schaus 2/3 of an inning, charged with a hit and a run. Wheeler 2/3 of an inning, couple of hits, no runs, and now Percival. It's 2-1.
It's been a tough series. I got to tell you that. The Oakland A's pitching staff has been impressive. They've got some good arms. They've got some good young starters. Pretty solid bullpen. Some plus arms down there.
Well, these young left-handers the Rays have seen have impressed them. I'll tell you that. 2-1. It's high. Percy at 93 missed with a fastball. 3-1. The pitch is popped up on the right side of the infield. It's Imamura making the call, and he's got it for the out. Percival said after that outing against the Indians on Sunday with the improved life on that fastball that one of the things he had noticed that he had been doing was burying that left elbow into his side, and he started to clear that elbow out of there, and he thought he had better rotation, better torque, and that gave him more velocity and better life on the fastball.
Yeah, you got to use both arms. You can't have a dormant left arm. You got to get that tuck to get that right arm up to get through the baseball.
First pitch to Cust is down and in. No ball and no strikes. Started him with a breaking ball.
Also, I was talking to Brian Anderson the other day about some things. I don't think I'll reveal it right here on the air, but working on some things with the lower half as well. And that will generate more velocity too.
Foul back. Will be out of play. 1-1. Let's take a look at his motion, Kevin.
Yeah, take a look. There's a leg kick right there, and good drive. Good drive right there, the backside. You know, when you're talking about that left arm, you got to pronate. That sounds like a big word for me, but
I'm looking it up in the dictionary right now.
But it's thumb down. The left side of the glove has to be thumb down, and then you basically pull it in away. But you don't want to open up too soon and make it flat where you're going toward first base. You kind of pull it down and in toward the left side, and it propels your right arm up.
Two and one to count here to Cust. Rays with a shift on. Pitch is wide. 3 balls and a strike.
Curve ball right here. It did miss. It was wide. Navarro tries to bring it in. Andy Marsh doesn't bite on that.
Three and one now. Big cut and a miss. Because 3-1. He wanted that big cut, looking for a fastball, and was out in front as he changed speed.
That is a great pitch. Now Troy can continue to do that the rest of the year. Throw the changeups in hitters' counts. But some triple hitters that like to go deep like cuts. That's going to make his fastball that much better. That's the great equalizer right there. That was unexpected by Jack Cuss.
3-2. Misses down and in with a fastball. So Percival gives up the walk to Cust. One on with one out. Matt Holliday will be the hitter. They're going to get a runner at first. They'll add a lot of speed as Cust departs in favor of Davis. Rajay Davis takes over at first base. He can fly.
And he'll be looking to go immediately, even with Matt Holliday up there.
Over by Percival. The pitch is down. One ball, no strikes. Holliday with a single back in the second. He walked and scored in the fourth. He has a 1-for-3 day. Davis 4 of 6 in the steal department. Big cut and a miss. It's 1-1.
Navarro sets up in, looking for a ball up. That's going to go in. That's where you want to go. Above the hands.
Holliday has been hot on this road trip for Oakland. Runner goes, good jump. The pitch is high and the throw is not in time. Stolen base by Davis, and he swiped it easily. So he's now at second with one out.
Yeah, this was off a big leg kick at Troy Percival. There's no chance for Navarro, so he throws from his knees, which, well, you want to be careful of. You definitely don't want to bounce it and have the runner get to third. Didn't really need to throw at all because he really had no chance. That was off of Troy's big leg kick.
So it's 2-1 on Holliday. And that pitch comes in upstairs. So the third straight 3-ball count. He went 3-1, popped up Suzuki. Went 3-2 to Cuss, walked him, and now he's 3-1 to Holliday. This one is foul. Right side. Carlos trying to track it, but it's out of play. Pena staying with that one, but he ran out of room. So it's a full count. Rays have Nelson up in the bullpen. The 3-2. And ball 4 down and away. Now Holliday goes to first. A couple of walks here in the 9th inning. First and second, one out. Giambi will be the hitter.
0-for-6 with 6 strikeouts in his career against Troy Percival. How about that? that matchup for Joe Madden to make a move, because I know he likes Nelson, the lefty, sometimes because of his changeup.
Pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Of course, J.P. Howell's thrown the last couple of days and done a really good job. He doesn't want to have to use him 3 days in a row. Kind of shares the duties down there in the bullpen with everybody. Spread it out.
Upstairs again. 2 balls, no strikes. Two men on via the walk. Giambi waiting. He has a walk and a single already today. And there's ball 3. 3-0. And Pena is going to come in to try to change the pacing a little bit here.
Well, you know, Giambi will swing 3-0 here, because this, you know, he'll get a free swing and he'll be trying to square one up and look in one zone, and certainly Troy Percival knows that. Jason's a run producer. He's not up there looking for a walk to have Adam Kennedy try to get the go-ahead hit.
And there's a strike. 3-1.
Pretty good paint right there, too. Jason did look like he wasn't going to swing though.
Great speed at second and Davis. Holiday the runner at first. 3-1 the count to Giambi. And he pops it foul. That's out of play. So full count. 3rd consecutive full count Percival has had on these Oakland hitters after getting Suzuki on a 3-1 pop-up. Three balls, 2 strikes. Pitch on its way. The runner's gone. The pitch is skied back into center field. That ball pretty well hit back there, with Upton tracking it to the wall, and it's going to be over his head. Davis will go to 3rd. He had gone back to 2nd, thinking the ball was going to be caught and the bases are going to be loaded. How about that?
I think BJ lost it. I think BJ lost it in the dome. Looked like he lost track of it. He had it at first, he thought, and then I think he lost it in the dome. Hit pretty well by Giambi, but it was catchable. And BJ can't find it. And once he does, it's too late, because that ball short hopped off the track to the wall. Rajay Davis thinks he's got it too, so he's going back to second base. Doesn't want to be doubled off, and now when he's... Oh, they touched right there. That's interesting.
So the bases are loaded. Well, you're right. BJ, you could see from his reaction, he lost the ball out there.
Sure did.
Because it appeared that he might catch it. Davis was on his way back to 2nd, and then wound up again advancing to 3rd. So the bases are loaded, and the Rays are going to make a pitching change. And take a look at this.
Yeah, they're on the bag at the same time, and you really can't give him a help. It's like a third base coach. You can't hold a runner up if he's running to your stop sign. And there was a little question there. Joe Madden
yeah, Holiday tried not to pass him.
Right.
So they're loaded, and we'll be back with the new pitcher in a moment. Well, the bases are loaded. The new pitcher is Joe Nelson. He faces Adam Kennedy. And the first pitch to Kennedy is lined over the head of Bartlett into center for a base hit. Davis will score the go-ahead run, and the bases remain loaded. So Kennedy drives in the run on the first pitch. And now it's a 4-3 ball game.
We talked about Kennedy being a first ball fastball hitter, and he got one up and out over the plate. And he's their hottest hitter right now. And that's just bad location. Good execution by Kennedy.
Sweeney. The pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes on that play where Holiday and Davis were close to sharing the bag at second. I think Madden was looking for trying to steal it out there just in case Holiday had passed Davis. If he does that, he's out.
He's out. He's out if he does that. And technically, you're not supposed to touch or help or push the runner either. I know coaching third base, you can't touch your runner if he's run through your stop sign and grab him and help him to come back to third. It's the same thing with base runners, but it was just close. And Holiday didn't pass Davis.
Well, there's ball 3 to Sweeney with the bases loaded. Oakland has scored the go-ahead run here in the 9th. Davis found himself in a difficult spot there. And there is ball 4. And Nelson walks home another run. So a run batted in here for Sweeney. Holiday scores. Giambi's at third. Kennedy's at second. And the Rays are now down by 2. Bobby Crosby. Pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Cormier is trying to get ready in a hurry. He pitched an inning last night. And 3 walks and 2 hits in the inning. The bases loaded with 1 out.
13 walks given up by Joe Nelson, and that's just not going to get it done.
And he misses again to Crosby. It's 2-0. Here in the inning, charged to Percival.
Wake up, Ref, wake up. You're back in the game again. Hope you got your power nap in.
A wave and a miss takes the count to 2-2. Started with the 1-out walk to Cusk. Davis ran for him. He scored. Holiday walked or scored. 2 and a foul ball back at third. Evens the count 2-2 with Giambi headed back to third now. Kennedy's at second. Sweeney at first. Kennedy and Sweeney have the runs batted in the inning. Nelson comes back to strike out Crosby.
This is the changeup right here, 3-2. And Crosby got fooled on that one. Good pitch because it had a lot of movement and sink to it. Good arm speed on that one.
So 2 outs with the bases loaded. Jack Hanahan will step in there. and no strikes. That's a strike on the outer edge. 1-1. The eighth man to come to the plate here in the ninth inning for Oakland. They've scored 2. They have the bases loaded, 2 gone. And a high fly ball left center field. Crawford and Upton converging. Crawford's there to make the catch, and that retires the side. Oakland scores 2. We go to the bottom of the ninth. 5-3 Oakland. Inning, they need a couple to keep it going and 3 to win it. See, Davis stays in the game to play center field. Sweeney goes over to play right. Andrew Bailey, who worked the 8th inning, back out to work the 9th. Willie Ibar is going to lead it off for the Rays. Ibar, Iwamura, and Kapler all do. The pitch is low. Ibar doubled off the wall and scored a run in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a walk in this game. It's a strike at the knees. Two and one.
Need a base runner. Has zone him out right here. Patient.
Ibar, the Rays DH. 2-1 pitch. Ball 3. 3-1.
Not a bad idea even to take one here. Even though Willie's swinging the bat well, he can do it twice.
And ball 4, he's on. So the Rays get the leadoff man aboard. Ibar goes to first. Ball to the bullpen there by Kurt Young. Don't forget now, Rays live the post game immediately following the game. Brad Ziegler, their closer. Ben Zobrist has moved out on deck with Iwamura preparing to hit now, and Zobrist is on deck. Young's going to trot to the mound to take up a little more time after Suzuki had gone out there.
Even though Bailey was throwing well last inning, once they got the lead, I was surprised Ziegler wasn't even up behind him anyway. as good as Bailey has been. He threw a lot of pitches the other night into the 40s, I believe.
Yep.
Now, I was surprised once they got the lead. He wasn't even up. Not that you wouldn't send Bailey out there, but from a preparation standpoint, I would have had him up already.
So here's Hockey. He takes a strike at the knees. Hockey lifts it into left center field. Holiday is there to catch it. That's the first out on a fly ball to left. Hitter will be Ben Zobrist. Zobrist entered the game last night as a pinch hitter for Kapler. Popped out to Kennedy at second down the right field side. He drew a walk in the ninth inning in his second plate appearance of the game last night. It back, strike one.
Out of the shoot, swinging the bat. In this situation, that's what you want to do. You get that first fastball, try to tie it up. Go for it. Now that you have one out.
Pitch a little wide, stayed out there. 1-1. They tried to bring that one in the backside. There's a shot back into deep right. That ball is gone, and this game is tied. How about Ben Zobrist? He does it again. Time after time, Ben Zobrist delivers, and this game is tied 5-5. Zobrist single-handedly brings this team back.
Well, he went for it. That's the right move. That's exactly what he was trying to do the first pitch. He did it on the third pitch. Incredible. And here's a mistake by Bob Guerin. You got your closer up and not in the game, and now it's tied. That's a managerial mistake right there.
Ben's 8th home run of the year. And that brings the Rays dugout to life. Ibar walked to lead it off. 1 out later, Zobrist hits the pinch hit home run. Back with a new pitcher in a moment. There is Ben Zobrist, who has tied this game. Brad Ziegler, the new pitcher, and the first pitch to Navarro is a ball.
This was a cutter on the back door right here. Take a look at the pitch. Look at that. Look at that sweet spot right there. He squares it up.
Foul ball off Navarro's foot. The count is 1-1. Boy, Zobrist, what a story he is. Last year, you know, next to Dan Johnson, he may have gotten the biggest hit, the home run that helped the Rays right after the All-Star break. They beat the Blue Jays. They hit the home run last year off A.J. Burnett. That was a big home run in the season. He has continued to hit the ball hard in key situations for the Rays all year this year.
I mean, you're sitting for 8.5 innings and you come off the bench and you can hit a home run off a guy that has a very good arm in Bailey, although he didn't throw his four-seam fastball. He tried to throw a cutter on the outside corner and came back over the plate, but Ben squared it up. And he was 90-91 with the cutter, but Ben hit the sweet spot with it.
3-1. Well, he had that big pinch hit grand slam off Matt Thornton. There's a shot up the right side, and that's headed for the corner. One hop and out of play. That's a double. Navarro lines a double. And the Rays have the potential winning run at second base with one out in the bottom of the ninth.
DeHonor has had some better at bats, especially from the left side recently. This ball came back over the inside corner. Ziegler wanted it away, and DeHonor was all over it. Short, compact swing. His swing is looking much shorter from the left side, and he's seen the ball really well, especially from the left side of the plate.
So Navarro's at second. B.J. Upton's the hitter. Ziegler's pitch to B.J. and he looks at a strike. Zobrist with his third pinch hit home run of the year. And now the Rays have a chance to end it. It's low. 1-1. BJ was up there in the bottom of the ninth last night when he hit that ball off Ziegler, headed toward left center field, and Sweeney made the diving catch to end the game. The pitch is down again. 2 balls and a strike. There is ball 3. 3-1.
Ziegler's very well aware that B.J. Upton hit one in the gap last night and almost tied the game. And maybe, who knows, B.J. said he would have got a triple, but who knows? I mean, that ball could have gone all the way to the wall. He could have got inside the park home run.
And there is ball 4. So a walk to Upton. Carl Crawford's due. They just got the left-hander Breslow up in the bullpen.
Just now.
Suzuki's going to the mound to take up some time. They just added him. They claimed him on waivers. Two men on with 1 out.
So they got Ziegler up late. I mean, if the first guy's gets on, you're gonna get your closer up. You got to have him up as the pitcher goes out there.
Well, here's Crawford. Base hit into center field. Navarro around third. He's going to score as Davis bobbles him off.